welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. Today we are out with the new Hyundai Kona, loaned to me from Brennes Auto in Sarpsborg. A few decent improvements, very many. Its car is new and it's unlike the previous one, which felt a little bit plastic and cheap. It's still relatively, well, it's not that cheap anymore, but yeah, there's improvements. I like it. Let's go our normal route and then we'll talk about it. I have to say, it's fairly quiet in here and comfortable. It bongs and dings a lot. Part of that is the new EU regulation that says that if you deviate from the speed limit, it will bong at you, and it does, even if you're just 1 or 2 kilometers over by accident. But it only gives you 3 bongs and then it stops. So sort of how it is, I'm afraid. And the interior here, it's nice. Because the old one was a little bit plastic and cheap. And this is plasticky sort of as well. But it just looks so much better. And if you look at the EV6 and also the Ioniq and so on, the climate control there it's its own little box, but it's still touch buttons. They're still touch sensitive, which is, then you might as well just have it on the screen if you ask me. Here the climate controls are buttons or rocker switches or whatever and they feel very nice to touch. They feel kind of the solid Asian plasticky clicky feeling. Not clicky like an old Mercedes, which is unique, but it feels solid and proper and everything. And it also remembers what you told it to do. Auto hold, for instance, which I just think should be standard on all cars and put on by default. Normally in all cars, in the previous gen Kia Hyundai products and others, you had to put it on, turn it on every time you got in the car, because it forgot in between, which is stupid. This doesn't. This remembers this fix. Big mirrors, seem good. It has the infotainment screen and also the big instrument cluster screen from its siblings, so it all works very well. It's still a crossover, not a full-size big SUV, but it's grown since the last generation because it has now space in the back seat, which the old one really didn't, not if you were a tall person anyway. I would also imagine it has a bigger boot. I haven't checked it if it has a trunk. I haven't got around to that. As for the design, well, I started it a little bit and it looks more modern, and it has hints of the Ioniq 5 in it. The creases on the side, among others, most primary that. And also then with the LED bars front and back, it sort of looks properly modern and fresh and up to date. The previous one was slightly bulbous and maybe a little bit weird. Thought all the plastics of it were a little bit, we want to be an off-road, look at us, we're a tall car. But it was really too small to carry it, and it was maybe a trying to break from the traditional slightly boring design they had from before. But this is kind of, it's not as dramatic as the Ioniq 6 and to a certain degree the Ioniq 5. No, it's more traditionalist. And also, so is also the interior. You have buttons for everything here and switches. Space in the cabin. It's actually not too bad. It's a very open solution they've gone for. There's now an owner of an old S, I sort of recognize parts of it. I guess I like it in a way. It's definitely, they've removed the gear selector from the floor, so they're giving you that space to use, and that's good. A lot of the Germans particularly, don't understand that. They don't realize that they can free up space. So you have a shelf in here, nicely lit, and I like the interior lighting here. The ambient lighting. It's soft and doesn't distract you. It's just there. And also you have a proper head-up display this time, not the cheap version they had in the old cars with the plastic flap that came up, rose up from the instrument cluster, like some sort of marvel of engineering and future promises, which of course it never was. Now it is properly projected onto the windscreen. It doesn't appear to be the most advanced one in the world, but it's there, and that's okay. It shows the speed limit, and it shows your speed, and it shows distance to car. And if I put cruise control on, I'm sure it would show me some more data as well. So far consumption is 22.5 watt hours per kilometer, 225 watt hours per kilometer. It's 3 degrees outside. We're in a hot spell now. We had 9 degrees earlier today, which is absurd because we're in the tail end of November, but it's apparently a storm or something. It's very windy, so yeah. So let's continue, shall we? These are the low beam and high beam. It's decent lights on this one, not perfect, but decent. Much better than traditionally historically have been. And even though you have this LED bar in the front, it doesn't really light up that much. I don't think it's in use when you drive the car, probably. I don't think it's allowed to be. There's auto beams and lights, not full LED matrix, just on and off, and it works okay. Some might say it's too slow to dim, to turn a high beam up again, but I think it's perfectly okay. It's not as slow as the Tesla. That's around 6 seconds. This is around a second or two, roughly. Rear seats and rear seat space, it's decent. I mean, I'm almost 1 meter and 90 centimeters and have long legs, but I fit in the back there, and I have space, plenty of space for my head. I have space for my knees, and if I move the front seats forward a little bit, it's not really a problem at all. So, and you couldn't do that in the old car. It was a smaller car. I think it's 15 centimeters longer, this one, and some of that has come to the rear passengers, definitely, and some in the luggage space as well. The boot is of a decent size. It's some tire noise in here, not dreadfully much, but it's there. And now we are on winter tires. I have no idea what tires is on it. It's probably proper winter tires. It's a bit cold in here. I can't really say why, because it's on auto. And 22 degrees. Oh well, let's see. Sound system seems okay. You run CarPlay and stuff. You still have to put it on a cable, which is a little bit daft, but it is what it is. You have USB-C now, so you have to bring the right cable. I brought the one from the old Tesla. That's not good, because that was a USB-A to USB-C, so I had to run home and pick up another one. That's a convenience with got a new iPhone now. It's expensive as well, it's an iPhone, but at least it runs USB-C, so now I have one connection for almost everything. And that's very, very nice. Running 192 watt hours, running 74% of battery left. We have an estimated range of, I have no idea. There it is, 258 kilometers. That wasn't that much. But now we're on the motorway. Yes, there's noise in here. We're on a almost 10-year-old Tesla Model S, and I think this is perfectly all right. No, but it is. I was afraid it would be worse once you saw. You heard it on the country road, and then you thought, yeah, well, how would that be when they come out on the rough Norwegian tarmac in the winter? But it's okay. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Just good enough. This is the word. Now I remembered what I was supposed to be saying. The lane assist is very good. So is the adaptive cruise, but that's been working for years. That's even worked in the old Ioniq. So, yeah. It has its name for that camera here, or sensor, I think, watching your eyes or something probably. It beeps at you when you don't pay attention or don't hold the steering wheel, and that's okay. It's not too intrusive, but it's there and tells you sometimes when it feels you not paying enough attention. Yes, it has this brilliant thing that Kia and Hyundai have had for a few years now with the blinkers. When you turn on your blinkers to go in either direction, it shows up in the instrument cluster. It's really nice. And unlike in the Ioniq 6, where the steering wheel was in the way, here I can actually see it. Not the entire picture of it, but enough of it that it makes sense and gives me decent information. And that's, after all, the important bit. Yes, region. Historically on Kia and Hyundai's products, you have the flaps here, you can adjust it, but it's been sort of on or off. If you don't go, it's never been the most refined. Here, it works very well. I have it on auto. I didn't think I would like the auto. The auto works, at least now. With adaptive cruise and everything else, it works. Actually, region is not as easy as you think. The Audi, I've never really understood. Yeah, the Q8, for instance, the e-tron, it's just, I don't understand why it doesn't give me enough. Some people do it very well. Tesla's good at it. BMW is good at it, partly anyway. Anyway, it works. It brakes the car. It smoothly and with whole mode engaged. It's brilliant, really, around town and stuff. I must say though, it 2-stage heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats in the front, heated seats in the back. You do get a lot of equipment, but you've always done that with Kia Hyundai cars, at least for a long time. You do get a lot of equipment for not that much money, and it is all really nice. It's a little bit too much binging and bonging maybe sometimes, yes. But I don't really think it's much worse than that. Now we're at, what are we at, 52%. It's not really worth mentioning too much about the range, because I had a few stops along the way, I didn't plan and so on, but 300 kilometers is not a problem with this one. Probably closer to 400 as well, shouldn't be an issue. And it's winter time now, even though it doesn't look it. It's not a car you really worry about the range in. And I've heard rumors that the old car may be a little bit more efficient in the winter, but I don't think it will bother very many people. But this one also has a higher charge speed when you do need to quick charge it. So I don't really know how much that difference would be in the real world on a road trip. I don't think it would be very much anything to care about. But to sum up the new Hyundai Kona, it's a very competent, good car. All the interior surfaces feel good. The buttons have a good tactile feeling to them. Sound system is good. Seats are very nice. Been for a long time in these cars, really. And it's all just a competent, well thought out product. Particularly for the money, which is getting very crowded now. But it's a nice, competent, slightly traditional take on the car, but that's maybe okay, and we need that sometimes. Ground where some parts of the rest of the industry sometimes are going, and different. There's no needless buttons there, for instance. There's many buttons, but they have a function. There's no silly boost buttons, or rather 20 mode buttons or something like that. Well equipped. Lights are good. Lights could always be better, but you know what I said. You know what I always say. Get an LED bar on the thing if you need more lights. That's how you solve that. Power. It doesn't feel on the power. Even at the motorway now, you have plenty of room for it. It's no problem getting up to speed at all. I do sense that I have to make a video about modern cars bonging and binging because, well, particularly after I got the old S. It's almost 10 years old. It's built under a completely different regime of systems and allowances, but it does bing at you and bong at you, but not the same way. So it's a sense now that there's a limit to it's okay that it tells you stuff, but sometimes you don't understand what you've done wrong and you just get annoyed by it more than anything else, and then it loses its purpose in some ways. But that's another theme for another video. Once again, thank you to Brenner's Auto. Thank you for watching, and do like if you want to share the video, leave a comment and all that jazz. And I'll be back very soon with a new car, another car. Till then, take care, and take care of someone else as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.